Emotional Mastery: How to Stop Reacting and Take Control of Your Emotions. Written by Colin Davies, published by Mindsmore Audiobooks. Introduction. Think for a moment how much smoother life would be if you could remain unfazed in the face of pressure. Imagine yourself navigating those high-stakes situations with a calm composure, responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. What if you could hold your tongue when anger flares, or choose understanding over frustration when things don't go your way? You're about to delve into the power of emotional control, a journey that will equip you with the skills to become truly emotionally intelligent. It's about learning to direct your reactions, to keep a cool head when challenges arise, and to make choices that align with your true intentions, not just fleeting feelings. We all have those moments we wish we could take back, those times when emotions got the better of us and led us to say or do things we regret. But what if there's a way to rewrite those scripts? To shift from reactive to responsive, from impulsive to intentional? This book is your key to unlocking that potential. It starts with understanding the vital role emotions play in our lives, while also recognizing how they can sometimes lead us astray. We'll explore the triggers that ignite those emotional fires and provide you with practical strategies to manage them effectively. As you gain control over your reactions, you'll discover a newfound ability to handle challenges with grace and make decisions that reflect your true self. You'll learn to recognize the difference between reacting that knee-jerk, emotion-driven response and responding a deliberate action rooted in thoughtful consideration. Through mindfulness practices and simple yet powerful techniques, you'll cultivate the self-awareness needed to pause in moments of stress, creating space to choose a response that aligns with your goals and values. We'll delve into the power of breath, explore the root causes of your emotional patterns, and uncover the secrets to healing those hidden emotional wounds. Along the way, we'll draw inspiration from real-life stories of individuals who have mastered the art of emotional regulation, demonstrating the profound impact it can have on relationships, decision-making, and overall quality of life. This is an invitation to embark on a journey of self-discovery, to tap into the immense power that comes from being in control of your emotions. A life of calm, clarity, and meaning awaits. Are you ready to claim it? Welcome to the journey. Let's dive in together and uncover the transformative power of emotional mastery. We appreciate your support in helping us produce more content for you, so please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Chapter 1. Unmasking Your Emotional Triggers. They are the vibrant hues that color our inner world, the driving force behind our actions, and the invisible threads that connect us to one another. Joy, sadness, anger, fear, love, these feelings are as much a part of the human experience as breathing or sleeping. They are the symphony of our souls, the language of our hearts. But what happens when these emotions become overwhelming? When a seemingly minor event triggers a disproportionate reaction, leaving us feeling out of control and regretful. That's where understanding your emotional triggers becomes crucial. Think of emotional triggers as hidden buttons within us, each connected to a specific feeling or reaction. These buttons can be pushed by external events, a harsh word from a colleague, a traffic jam on the way to an important meeting, the piercing sound of a car alarm shattering the peace of your morning. But they can also be triggered by internal events, a fleeting memory, a self-critical thought, a worry about the future. These triggers are often rooted in our past experiences, particularly those that were challenging or unresolved. Perhaps a critical parent instilled a deep-seated fear of failure, or a childhood bully left you feeling perpetually on guard. These past experiences can leave emotional scars that shape our present-day reactions, even if we're not consciously aware of them. Imagine, for instance, that you grew up with a sibling who constantly teased you about your appearance. Years later, a casual comment from a friend about your outfit might trigger a wave of insecurity and self-doubt, even if the comment was intended to be lighthearted. In that moment, you're not just reacting to your friend's words, you're reacting to the echoes of those painful childhood experiences. Recognizing your emotional triggers is like shining a light into the shadowy corners of your inner world. It's about becoming a detective, carefully observing your reactions and tracing them back to their origins. This process of self-discovery can be challenging, but it's also incredibly empowering. One powerful tool for uncovering your triggers is self-reflection. Take some time to think about situations where you felt particularly emotional. What were the circumstances? Who was involved? What thoughts were running through your mind? Journaling can be an invaluable ally in this process, providing a safe space to explore your feelings and identify patterns in your reactions. Another helpful approach is mindfulness. By cultivating present moment awareness, you can become more attuned to your emotional responses as they arise. Notice the subtle shifts in your body, the clenching of your jaw, the quickening of your breath, the fluttering in your stomach. These physical sensations are often the first signs that an emotional trigger has been activated. As you become more skilled at identifying your triggers, you'll start to notice that certain themes or patterns emerge. Perhaps you're particularly sensitive to criticism, or maybe you have a strong reaction to feeling ignored or dismissed. These insights can be incredibly valuable in understanding your emotional landscape and navigating your relationships with greater awareness. It's important to remember that everyone's triggers are unique. What sets one person off might have no effect on another. This is because our triggers are shaped by our individual experiences, personalities, and values. There's no right or wrong. When it comes to emotional triggers, they are simply a part of who we are. However, by becoming aware of our triggers, we gain the power to choose how we respond to them. Instead of being at the mercy of our emotions, we can create a space between the trigger and the reaction. This space allows us to pause, reflect, and make a conscious choice about how we want to proceed. This might mean taking a deep breath before responding to a provocative comment, or it might mean stepping away from a situation that is causing you distress. It might involve communicating your needs assertively, or it might mean seeking support from a trusted friend or therapist. The key is to remember that you are not your emotions. You are the observer, the witness, the one who has the power to choose how you respond to the feelings that arise within you. By recognizing your emotional triggers, you take the first step toward reclaiming that power and creating a life of greater emotional freedom and well-being. Chapter 2. The Body's Whisper, Deciphering Your Emotional Language. We often think of emotions as residing solely in the mind, a swirling storm of thoughts and feelings that can lift us to euphoric heights or plunge us into the depths of despair. But emotions are not just mental events, they are intricately woven into the very fabric of our being, expressed through the language of our bodies. Imagine your body as a wise and ancient storyteller, narrating the ongoing saga of your emotional life. Every sensation, every subtle shift in your physical state, is a word in this intricate language, a clue to the deeper currents flowing within you. A racing heart that pounds like a drumbeat in your chest, a knot in your stomach that tightens with each anxious thought, a wave of warmth that washes over you when surrounded by loved ones. These are not just random occurrences, they are your body's way of communicating, revealing the hidden landscape of your emotions. Learning to decipher this language is like gaining access to a secret code, a key to unlocking deeper self-understanding and emotional mastery. It's about becoming a mindful observer of your physical sensations, recognizing them as valuable messengers from your inner world. Think about the last time you felt a surge of anger. Perhaps a careless driver cut you off in traffic, or a colleague took credit for your work. What did you notice in your body? Maybe your jaw clenched, your fists tightened, or your face flushed with heat. These are not just side effects of anger, they are an integral part of the emotion itself, a physical manifestation of the energy coursing through you. This mind-body connection is orchestrated by your autonomic nervous system, the intricate network of nerves that regulates many of your body's automatic functions, including heart rate, breathing, and digestion. When you perceive a threat, whether real or imagined, your autonomic nervous system activates the fight or flight response, preparing your body to either confront the danger or flee from it. In the case of the angry driver or the credit-stealing colleague, your body is interpreting the situation as a threat to your sense of fairness or self-worth. Your heart races to pump more blood to your muscles, your breathing quickens to deliver oxygen, and your muscles tense, ready for action. While this response can be life-saving in truly dangerous situations, it can also be triggered by everyday stressors, leading to chronic tension, anxiety, and even physical health problems. That's why it's crucial to learn how to recognize the signs of the stress response and develop strategies to regulate it. But the fight or flight response isn't the only way our bodies react to stress. Researchers have discovered another important pathway, known as the tend and befriend response. This response, often more prominent in women, involves seeking social support and nurturing others as a way to cope with challenges. It highlights the profound importance of connection and community in regulating our emotions and building resilience. So how can you become more fluent in the language of your body? One powerful practice is body scan meditation. This involves systematically bringing your attention to different parts of your body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, noticing any sensations that arise without judgment. You might notice a tingling in your hands, a warmth in your chest, or a tightness in your shoulders. By regularly practicing body scan meditation, you can cultivate a deeper awareness of your physical state and its connection to your emotions. This awareness can help you identify emotional triggers early on, allowing you to respond more consciously and skillfully. Another valuable technique is progressive muscle relaxation. This involves tensing and releasing different muscle groups in your body, bringing mindful awareness to the sensations of tension and relaxation. This practice can help you release physical tension, reduce stress, and promote a sense of calm and well-being. Beyond formal practices, there are countless ways to cultivate body awareness in your daily life. Pay attention to your posture. Notice how your body feels when you're engaged in different activities. Take a moment to savor the sensations of a warm bath, a gentle breeze on your skin, or a comforting hug. By developing a mindful relationship with your body, you'll gain access to a wealth of information about your emotional landscape. You'll learn to recognize the early warning signs of stress, anxiety, and overwhelm, empowering you to take proactive steps to regulate your emotions and create a greater sense of balance and harmony within. Remember, your body is not just a vehicle for your mind, it is a wise and expressive companion on your journey through life. By learning to listen to its whispers, you can unlock a deeper understanding of yourself and navigate the world with greater clarity, compassion, and resilience. Chapter 3. The Power of the Pause, Creating Space Between Stimulus and Response. Life often feels like a whirlwind of events, a constant barrage of stimuli demanding our attention and pulling us in 1,000 different directions. It's easy to get swept up in this whirlwind, reacting impulsively to every ping of our phone, every demanding email, every unexpected challenge that crosses our path. But what if there was a way to step off the roller coaster, to create a pocket of stillness amidst the chaos? This is where the power of the pause comes in. It's about consciously interrupting the automatic chain reaction that often leads us from stimulus to reaction, creating a precious gap where we can choose a more thoughtful and intentional response. Think of it like this. Imagine you're driving down a busy highway, and suddenly a car cuts you off. Your immediate impulse might be to slam on the brakes, honk the horn, and maybe even yell a few choice words. This is a classic example of a reactive response, driven by the surge of adrenaline and the instinctual need to protect ourselves. But what if, instead of reacting impulsively, you hit the pause button? You take a deep breath, observe the situation, and remind yourself that the other driver might be having a bad day or simply didn't see you. This pause, even if it lasts only a few seconds, allows you to access the more rational part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making, planning, and impulse control. By engaging your prefrontal cortex, you can choose a more measured response. Perhaps you gently slow down, maintain a safe distance, and avoid escalating the situation. Or maybe you even offer a friendly wave, acknowledging the other driver's mistake without judgment. This ability to pause before reacting is not just a matter of good manners. It's a crucial skill for navigating life's challenges with grace and resilience. It allows us to step back from the intensity of our emotions, gain perspective, and make choices that align with our values and long-term goals. One of the most powerful tools for cultivating the pause is the breath. Our breath is intimately connected to our nervous system, and by consciously changing our breathing patterns, we can directly influence our emotional state. When we're stressed or anxious, our breathing tends to become shallow and rapid, perpetuating the fight or flight response. But by taking slow, deep breaths, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes relaxation and calmness. There are many different breathing techniques that can help you cultivate the pause. One simple yet effective technique is diaphragmatic breathing, also known as belly breathing. This involves breathing deeply into your abdomen, allowing your belly to rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Another helpful technique is box breathing, which involves inhaling for a count of 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and holding again for 4. This rhythmic breathing pattern can help to calm the mind, reduce anxiety, and create a sense of focus and clarity. The more you practice these breathing techniques, the more readily available they will become in moments of stress. Eventually, you'll find yourself instinctively taking a deep breath before reacting to a challenging situation, creating that precious pause where you can choose a more thoughtful response. But cultivating the pause is not just about mastering breathing techniques, it's about developing a mindful awareness of your thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations. It's about noticing the early warning signs of emotional reactivity, the clenching of your jaw, the tightening in your chest, the racing thoughts, and gently interrupting those patterns before they escalate. This might involve taking a moment to step away from a heated conversation, practicing a quick body scan meditation to ground yourself in the present moment, or simply reminding yourself that you have a choice in how you respond. The key is to remember that you are not your emotions. You are the observer, the witness, the one who has the power to choose how you respond to the feelings that arise within you. By cultivating the pause, you reclaim that power, creating space for wisdom, compassion, and intentional action to emerge. As you become more skilled at hitting the pause button, you'll find that you're not just reacting less, you're also responding more effectively. You're communicating more clearly, resolving conflicts more constructively, and navigating life's challenges with greater ease and resilience. The power of the pause is a gift you can give yourself, a moment of stillness amidst the storm, a chance to choose your response rather than be swept away by the current. Embrace this power, and you'll unlock a world of possibilities for greater emotional freedom and well-being. Chapter 4: Mindfulness in Motion, Weaving Presence into Everyday Life. Mindfulness. The word conjures images of serene monks meditating on mountaintops, or perhaps yogas contorting themselves into pretzel-like poses. But mindfulness isn't confined to the meditation cushion or the yoga studio. It's a way of living, a way of being present in each moment, no matter where you are or what you're doing. Think of mindfulness as a gentle spotlight, illuminating the present moment with focused attention. It's about turning down the volume on the constant chatter of the mind, the worries about the future, the regrets about the past, and tuning in to the rich tapestry of sensations, thoughts, and feelings that make up this very moment. This doesn't mean emptying your mind or achieving a state of blissful emptiness. It's simply about observing your experience without judgment, acknowledging your thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them. Imagine, for instance, that you're washing dishes. Instead of letting your mind wander to your to-do list or replaying a conversation from earlier in the day, you bring your full attention to the task at hand. You feel the warm water on your hands, the smooth texture of the plate, the gentle clinking as you stack the dishes. You notice the scent of the dish soap, the sounds of the water swirling down the drain. This might seem like a mundane activity, but by bringing mindful awareness to it, you transform it into an opportunity to cultivate presence and appreciate the simple beauty of the present moment. And as you practice mindfulness in these everyday activities, you'll find that it gradually spills over into other areas of your life, transforming the way you eat, walk, listen, and even interact with technology. Mindful eating, for instance, is about savoring each bite, paying attention to the flavors, textures, and aromas of your food. It's about appreciating the nourishment your body receives and cultivating a healthy relationship with food. When you eat mindfully, you're less likely to overeat or make unhealthy choices, and you're more likely to enjoy your meals and feel satisfied. Mindful walking is another powerful practice. Instead of rushing from point A to point B, lost in thought, you pay attention to the sensations of your feet on the ground, the rhythm of your breath, the sights and sounds of your surroundings. You might notice the warmth of the sun on your skin, the gentle sway of the trees, the chirping of birds. Mindful walking can be a moving meditation, a way to connect with your body, appreciate the beauty of nature, and cultivate a sense of calm and presence. Mindful listening is an essential skill for building strong relationships and navigating social situations with grace. It's about truly hearing what the other person is saying, not just waiting for your turn to speak. It's about paying attention to their words, their tone of voice, their body language, and the emotions they're expressing. When you listen mindfully, you create space for deeper understanding, empathy, and connection. In today's digital age, mindfulness can also be a powerful antidote to the constant distractions of technology. Our phones, tablets, and computers are designed to grab our attention, vying for every spare moment of our consciousness. But by practicing mindful technology use, we can reclaim our focus and cultivate a more intentional relationship with our devices. This might involve setting boundaries around technology use, creating designated times for checking email or social media, or simply being more present when we are using our devices, noticing the urge to multitask or get lost in the digital world. Mindfulness is not a magic bullet, and it won't eliminate all of life's challenges, but it can be a powerful tool for cultivating greater presence, awareness, and emotional regulation. By weaving mindfulness into the fabric of your everyday life, you can transform mundane activities into opportunities for self-discovery, cultivate deeper connections with others, and navigate the world with greater clarity, compassion, and peace. Chapter 5. The Inner Witness, Developing Self-Awareness. In the bustling marketplace of life, with its myriad distractions and demands, it's easy to lose sight of ourselves. We become so caught up in the external world, the endless to-do lists, the constant stream of information, the pressures of work and relationships, that we forget to tune into the inner world, the landscape of our own thoughts, feelings, and sensations. But this inner world is where the true magic of self-discovery lies. It's the source of our creativity, our resilience, our capacity for love and compassion. And the key to unlocking this inner world is self-awareness. Think of self-awareness as a flashlight, illuminating the hidden corners of your being. It's about turning your attention inward, observing your thoughts and feelings with curiosity and non-judgment. It's about becoming intimately acquainted with your strengths and weaknesses, your values and beliefs, your hopes and fears. This journey of self-discovery is not always easy. It requires courage to face our shadows, to acknowledge the parts of ourselves that we might prefer to keep hidden. But it's through this honest self-reflection that we gain the insights needed to grow, to heal, and to live a more authentic and fulfilling life. One of the most powerful tools for cultivating self-awareness is the practice of mindfulness. By bringing your attention to the present moment, you create space to observe your thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them. You become the witness, the observer, the one who can step back from the drama of your inner world and see it with greater clarity. Imagine, for instance, that you're feeling anxious about an upcoming deadline. Instead of letting the anxiety consume you, you take a moment to pause and observe it. You notice the tightness in your chest, the racing thoughts, the urge to avoid the task at hand. But you also notice that these are just sensations, just thoughts, just urges. They are not you. They are simply passing through your awareness. This ability to observe your experience without judgment is a key component of self-awareness. It allows you to gain distance from your thoughts and feelings, recognizing them as temporary states rather than defining characteristics. Another valuable tool for developing self-awareness is journaling. By putting your thoughts and feelings into words, you create a tangible record of your inner experience. You can then look back on your journal entries and identify patterns in your thinking, your emotional responses, and your behavior. Perhaps you notice that you tend to become more irritable when you're tired, or that you're more likely to procrastinate when you're feeling overwhelmed. These insights can be incredibly valuable in understanding your triggers, your strengths, and your areas for growth. Self-awareness also involves recognizing how your personality influences your emotional expression and reactivity. Are you naturally introverted or extroverted? Are you more inclined towards logic or emotion? Do you tend to be optimistic or pessimistic? Understanding your personality traits can shed light on your typical patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. For instance, if you're someone who tends to be highly sensitive, you might find that you're more easily overwhelmed by strong emotions or sensory input. This awareness can help you create environments and situations that support your well-being and allow you to thrive. It's also important to recognize that self-awareness is not a solo endeavor. Seeking feedback from trusted friends, family members, or colleagues can provide valuable insights into how you're perceived by others. This feedback can be especially helpful in identifying blind spots, those aspects of ourselves that we might not be fully aware of. Of course, it's important to be selective about who you seek feedback from. Choose people who are supportive, honest, and have your best interests at heart. And remember that feedback is just information. It's up to you to decide what to do with it. Developing self-awareness is an ongoing journey, not a destination. It's a process of continual self-discovery, a deepening understanding of the intricate tapestry of your being. And as you cultivate self-awareness, you'll find that you're not just gaining insights into yourself, you're also gaining greater control over your emotions, your reactions, and your life. You'll become more skilled at navigating challenging situations, communicating your needs effectively, and building stronger relationships. You'll develop greater resilience in the face of adversity and a deeper sense of compassion for yourself and others. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence, the key to unlocking your full potential and living a life of purpose, authenticity, and joy. Embrace this journey of self-discovery, and you'll embark on a path of profound personal growth and transformation. Chapter 6: Shifting Perspectives, the Art of Reframing. Our minds are incredible storytellers, constantly weaving narratives about ourselves, our experiences, and the world around us. These stories shape our perceptions, influence our emotions, and guide our actions. But sometimes the stories our minds tell us are not particularly helpful. They can be filled with negativity, self-criticism, and limiting beliefs that keep us stuck in cycles of frustration, anxiety, and self-doubt. This is where the art of reframing comes in. It's about consciously choosing a different perspective, a more empowering narrative that allows us to see challenges as opportunities, setbacks as learning experiences, and difficult emotions as valuable messengers. Imagine, for instance, that you receive critical feedback on a project you've been working on. Your initial reaction might be to feel defensive, discouraged, or even angry. You might start telling yourself stories like, "I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed," or "this is all my fault." But what if, instead of getting caught up in these negative narratives, you reframe the situation? You might ask yourself, what can I learn from this feedback? How can I use this experience to improve my skills? What are the strengths that I can build upon? By shifting your perspective, you transform the experience from a source of discouragement to a catalyst for growth. You move from a place of self-blame to a place of empowerment, where you can take ownership of your actions and learn from your mistakes. This ability to reframe our thoughts is not about denying reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about recognizing that there are multiple ways to interpret any given situation and choosing the perspective that serves us best. One of the key challenges in reframing is recognizing the cognitive distortions that often cloud our judgment. These are the mental shortcuts our minds take, leading us to misinterpret situations and draw inaccurate conclusions. Some common cognitive distortions include catastrophizing, imagining the worst-case scenario and blowing things out of proportion. Overgeneralization, drawing sweeping conclusions based on a single event or experience. Personalization, taking responsibility for things that are outside of your control. Black and white thinking, seeing things in extremes with no middle ground. By becoming aware of these cognitive distortions, we can start to challenge them and replace them with more balanced and realistic thoughts. So how can you cultivate the art of reframing? Here are a few practical steps. Identify the negative thought. Pay attention to the stories your mind is telling you. What are the negative thoughts or beliefs that are causing you distress? Challenge the thought. Ask yourself, is this thought really true? What evidence supports this thought? What evidence contradicts it? Reframe the thought. Look for alternative explanations or perspectives. What are some other ways to interpret this situation? What can I learn from this experience? What are the positive aspects of this situation? Practice gratitude. Focusing on what you're grateful for can shift your attention away from negativity and cultivate a more optimistic outlook. Reframing is not just a mental exercise, it's a way of life. It's about choosing to see the world through a lens of possibility, growth, and resilience. It's about recognizing that even in the face of challenges, there is always something to learn, something to appreciate, and something to move forward with. As you cultivate the art of reframing, you'll find that you're not just changing your thoughts, you're changing your emotional experience. You're transforming negativity into optimism, fear into courage, and self-doubt into self-acceptance. You're creating a life where you're not at the mercy of your thoughts and feelings, but rather, you're the author of your own story. Chapter 7. Walking in Another's Shoes, Empathy and Compassion in Action. We are social creatures, woven into a tapestry of relationships that shape our lives and give them meaning. But navigating this intricate web of human connection can be challenging, filled with misunderstandings, conflicts, and hurt feelings. That's where the power of empathy and compassion becomes essential. Empathy is the ability to truly see another person, to understand their emotions, their perspectives, and their experiences, even if they differ greatly from our own. It's like stepping into their shoes, feeling the world through their senses, and experiencing life from their unique vantage point. Imagine for a moment that a close friend is going through a difficult time. Perhaps they've lost their job or struggling with a health issue, or are grieving the loss of a loved one. Empathy allows you to not only acknowledge their pain, but to truly connect with it, to feel the weight of their sadness, the sting of their disappointment, the fear and uncertainty that cloud their future. This doesn't mean you have to have gone through the exact same experience to empathize. It's about tapping into your own emotional repertoire, drawing on similar feelings you've experienced, perhaps a time when you felt lost, heartbroken, or overwhelmed, to create a bridge of understanding between your heart and theirs. Empathy is not just an innate quality, it's a skill that can be cultivated and strengthened through practice. One of the most powerful ways to develop empathy is through the art of active listening. This involves truly paying attention to what the other person is saying, not just with your ears, but with your whole being. It means putting aside your own thoughts and judgments, creating a safe space for the other person to share their experience without interruption. It means asking clarifying questions, reflecting back what you hear to ensure you understand, and validating their feelings, even if you don't necessarily agree with their perspective. Active listening is like holding up a mirror to the other person, reflecting their emotions and experiences back to them with understanding and acceptance. It's a way of saying, I see you, I hear you, and I value your experience. Another vital aspect of empathy is perspective taking. This involves consciously stepping outside of your own mental framework and trying to see the world through the other person's eyes. It means considering their background, their upbringing, their beliefs, and their experiences, recognizing that their reality might be vastly different from your own. Perspective taking requires a willingness to challenge your assumptions, to question your biases, and to embrace the complexity of human experience. It's about understanding that there is no single right way to see the world, and that every individual has their own unique perspective shaped by their own unique journey. But empathy is not just about understanding, it's also about action. This is where compassion comes in. Compassion is the heartfelt desire to alleviate another person's suffering, to offer kindness, support, and understanding even when it's difficult. Imagine, for instance, that a colleague is going through a divorce. Compassion might lead you to offer a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, or practical help with childcare or errands. It might involve simply checking in on them, letting them know you're there for them, and offering words of encouragement and support. Compassion is not about pity or judgment. It's about recognizing the shared humanity that connects us all, the vulnerability that underlies our human experience. It's about offering kindness and understanding not just to those we love, but to all beings, regardless of their background, beliefs, or behavior. Cultivating empathy and compassion is not just about being a good person. It's about creating a more fulfilling and meaningful life for yourself and others. When we connect with others on a deeper level, we expand our own understanding of the world. We develop stronger relationships, build more supportive communities, and contribute to a more compassionate and just society. Empathy and compassion are also essential for navigating conflict constructively. When we can see the situation from the other person's perspective, we're more likely to find common ground, resolve disagreements peacefully, and maintain healthy relationships. And perhaps most importantly, empathy and compassion are essential for our own well-being. When we extend kindness and understanding to others, we also extend it to ourselves. We develop greater self-compassion, allowing us to navigate our own struggles with greater ease and resilience. In the intricate tapestry of human connection, empathy and compassion are the threads that weave us together, creating a rich and vibrant fabric of shared experience. By cultivating these qualities, we not only enhance our relationships with others, but also deepen our connection to ourselves and to the world around us. Chapter 8. The Accountability Advantage, Taking Responsibility for Your Reactions. Life is a tapestry woven with threads of joy and sorrow, triumph and setback, love and loss. It's a journey filled with unexpected twists and turns, moments of serenity and periods of intense challenge. And how we navigate these inevitable ups and downs depends largely on our ability to take responsibility for our reactions. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external circumstances for our emotional state. We might say, "My boss made me angry," or "traffic ruined my day," or "my partner's words hurt my feelings." While it's true that external events can trigger our emotions, it's crucial to recognize that we always have a choice in how we respond. This is where the concept of locus of control comes in. Our locus of control refers to where we believe the power lies in our lives. Do we see ourselves as primarily in control of our destiny, or do we feel like we're at the mercy of external forces? Those with an internal locus of control believe that their actions and choices shape their lives. They take ownership of their successes and their failures, recognizing that they have the power to influence their circumstances. On the other hand, those with an external locus of control tend to believe that their lives are determined by factors outside of their control, such as luck, fate, or other people. When it comes to emotional regulation, having an internal locus of control is essential. It empowers us to take responsibility for our reactions, recognizing that we are not merely puppets at the mercy of our emotions, but rather active agents who can choose how we respond to life's challenges. This doesn't mean denying the impact of external events or pretending that we're not affected by them. It simply means recognizing that we always have a choice in how we interpret those events and how we choose to react. Imagine, for instance, that you're stuck in a traffic jam on your way to an important meeting. You could easily succumb to frustration, anger, and anxiety, blaming the traffic for ruining your day. But you could also choose to reframe the situation. Perhaps you use the time to listen to a podcast, practice a mindfulness exercise, or simply enjoy a moment of quiet reflection. By taking responsibility for your reaction, you transform a potentially stressful situation into an opportunity for growth and self-care. You shift from feeling like a victim of circumstance to feeling empowered to choose your response. Taking responsibility for our reactions also means acknowledging when our actions have caused harm to others. This requires humility, courage, and a willingness to own our mistakes. But it's through this process of accountability that we can learn, grow, and strengthen our relationships. When we've hurt someone, whether intentionally or unintentionally, offering a sincere apology is essential. A genuine apology is not about making excuses or justifying our behavior. It's about expressing remorse, taking responsibility for our actions, and making amends where possible. It's about acknowledging the impact our actions have had on the other person and demonstrating our commitment to doing better in the future. A sincere apology can be a powerful tool for healing relationships, rebuilding trust, and fostering forgiveness. But taking responsibility is not just about apologizing for our mistakes. It's also about learning from them. Every setback, every misstep, every challenging experience offers an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Instead of dwelling in self-blame or shame, we can choose to reframe our mistakes as valuable lessons. We can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this knowledge to make better choices in the future? By embracing this growth mindset, we transform setbacks into stepping stones, challenges into opportunities, and mistakes into valuable learning experiences. Taking responsibility for our reactions is not always easy. It requires honesty, self-awareness, and a willingness to challenge our own assumptions and biases. But it's through this process of accountability that we truly step into our power, creating a life of greater authenticity, integrity, and emotional freedom. Chapter 9: Weathering the Storm, Building Emotional Resilience. Life is a journey, not a destination. It's a winding path filled with breathtaking vistas, unexpected detours, and occasional storms that threaten to knock us off course. And how we navigate these inevitable challenges depends largely on our emotional resilience, our ability to bounce back from adversity, adapt to change, and emerge stronger on the other side. Think of emotional resilience as a kind of inner strength, a psychological immune system that helps us cope with stress, overcome obstacles, and maintain our well-being in the face of life's inevitable ups and downs. It's not about being impervious to pain or hardship. It's about having the tools and resources to navigate those challenges with grace and emerge stronger on the other side. Resilience is not a fixed trait. It's a dynamic quality that can be cultivated and strengthened through practice. It's like a muscle that grows stronger with each challenge we overcome, each setback we learn from, each storm we weather. One of the key foundations of emotional resilience is self-awareness. By understanding our emotions, recognizing our triggers, and acknowledging our vulnerabilities, we gain valuable insights into how we react to stress and adversity. This awareness allows us to identify our coping mechanisms, both healthy and unhealthy, and to develop more effective strategies for managing challenging situations. It's also crucial to recognize that resilience is not about suppressing our emotions or pretending that everything is okay. It's about acknowledging our feelings, allowing ourselves to experience the full spectrum of human emotion, the sadness, the anger, the fear, without getting swept away by them. It's about recognizing that these emotions are temporary, that they will pass, and that we have the inner strength to navigate them without losing sight of our values, our goals, and our sense of self. Another essential component of resilience is grit, that unwavering determination to keep going, even when things get tough. It's about embracing challenges, viewing setbacks as learning opportunities, and persisting in the face of adversity. Grit is not about brute force or stubbornness. It's about having a deep-seated belief in our ability to overcome obstacles, a willingness to learn from our mistakes, and a commitment to pursuing our goals, even when the path is long and arduous. Cultivating resilience also involves developing a toolbox of healthy coping mechanisms. These are the strategies we use to manage stress, regulate our emotions, and maintain our well-being in the face of challenges. Some effective coping mechanisms include mindfulness practices, meditation, deep breathing exercises, and body scan meditations can help us calm the nervous system, reduce anxiety, and cultivate a sense of presence and groundedness. Physical activity. Exercise is a powerful stress reliever, releasing endorphins that boost mood and promote a sense of well-being. Spending time in nature, connecting with the natural world has been shown to reduce stress, improve mood, and enhance cognitive function. Creative expression. Engaging in creative activities, such as writing, painting, music, or dance, can provide an outlet for emotions, promote self-discovery, and foster a sense of joy and fulfillment. Social connection. Strong social support networks provide a buffer against stress, offering a sense of belonging, security, and emotional support. It's important to recognize that resilience is not a solo endeavor. We all need support, guidance, and encouragement along the way. Building strong relationships with family, friends, mentors, and even therapists can provide us with the emotional scaffolding we need to navigate life's challenges and emerge stronger on the other side. And finally, it's essential to remember that resilience is not just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about finding meaning in adversity, discovering new strengths within ourselves, and using our experiences to grow, learn, and evolve. The journey of resilience is not always easy. It requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to face our fears and embrace our imperfections. But it's through this process of facing challenges, learning from setbacks, and cultivating inner strength that we truly come into our own, becoming the resilient, resourceful, and empowered individuals we were meant to be. Chapter 10. The Gift of Forgiveness, Releasing the Past. We all carry wounds, invisible scars etched onto our hearts by past hurts, betrayals, and disappointments. These wounds can fester, poisoning our present with bitterness, resentment, and anger. They can weigh us down, keeping us tethered to the past and preventing us from fully embracing the joy and freedom of the present moment. But there is a powerful antidote to these emotional burdens: forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about condoning hurtful actions or forgetting the pain they caused. It's about releasing the grip of the past, freeing ourselves from the shackles of resentment, and opening our hearts to the possibility of healing and peace. Imagine for a moment that you're carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. Each stone represents a past hurt, a grudge you've been holding onto, a resentment that continues to weigh you down. As you carry this backpack through life, it becomes increasingly burdensome, slowing you down, draining your energy, and preventing you from moving forward with ease and grace. Forgiveness is like setting down that backpack, releasing those stones, and allowing yourself to walk freely, unburdened by the weight of the past. It's a gift you give yourself, a choice to let go of anger and resentment, not for the sake of the person who hurt you, but for your own well-being. This doesn't mean that forgiveness is easy. It can be a challenging process requiring courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to confront painful emotions. But it's through this process of facing our wounds, acknowledging our pain, and choosing to let go that we truly begin to heal. The path to forgiveness often begins with acknowledging the hurt. It's important to allow yourself to feel the pain, the anger, the sadness, the betrayal, all the emotions that arise when we've been wronged. Denying or suppressing these emotions only prolongs the healing process and keeps us stuck in cycles of resentment. Once you've acknowledged the hurt, it's time to cultivate empathy. This doesn't mean excusing the other person's actions or condoning their behavior. It simply means trying to understand their perspective, recognizing that their actions were likely driven by their own pain, insecurities, or limitations. Empathy doesn't justify hurtful behavior, but it can help us to see the humanity in the person who hurt us, to recognize that they, too, are flawed and imperfect beings navigating their own challenges. This understanding can create space for compassion, allowing us to let go of anger and resentment more easily. Another crucial step in the forgiveness process is challenging the negative thoughts and beliefs that often accompany past hurts. We might tell ourselves stories like, "I'll never get over this," "I don't deserve to be happy," or "this person will always hurt me." These negative narratives can keep us trapped in cycles of self-blame, victimhood, and resentment. But by challenging these thoughts, by asking ourselves, is this really true? What evidence supports this belief? What evidence contradicts it? We can start to reframe our experience and create a more empowering narrative. Forgiveness is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process that requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to revisit our wounds as needed. There might be times when anger and resentment resurface, when the pain of the past feels fresh and raw. In these moments, it's important to acknowledge those feelings, offer ourselves kindness and understanding, and gently guide ourselves back to the path of forgiveness. It's also important to recognize that forgiveness does not necessarily mean reconciliation. While reconciliation might be possible in some cases, it's not always necessary or even desirable. Forgiveness is about releasing the burden of the past, not about condoning hurtful behavior or putting ourselves in harm's way. And finally, it's crucial to remember that forgiveness is not just about forgiving others, it's also about forgiving ourselves. We all make mistakes, we all have regrets, and we all have regrets, and we all carry the weight of past actions that we wish we could undo. Self-forgiveness is about offering ourselves the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a loved one. It's about acknowledging our imperfections, accepting our mistakes, and releasing the burden of self-blame. Forgiveness is a gift, a powerful act of self-liberation that allows us to break free from the chains of the past and embrace the freedom and joy of the present moment. It's a journey of healing, a path towards greater peace, compassion, and wholeness. Chapter 11: Humility and Growth. Taming the Ego. We all have an ego. It's that inner voice that whispers tales of our own importance, reminding us of our accomplishments, our talents, and our unique place in the world. It's the part of us that craves recognition, seeks validation, and defends us against perceived threats to our self-esteem. While a healthy ego can be a source of confidence and motivation, an inflated ego can become a formidable obstacle on the path to emotional mastery. It can lead us to become defensive, arrogant, and closed off to new ideas and perspectives. It can create barriers between us and others, hindering our ability to connect authentically and build meaningful relationships. Think of the ego as a protective shield, a suit of armor designed to safeguard our fragile sense of self. When we feel threatened or insecure, the ego steps in, erecting defenses to protect us from perceived harm. These defenses can take many forms: denial, refusing to acknowledge a painful reality or our own shortcomings; projection, attributing our own unacceptable thoughts or feelings to others; rationalization, justifying our actions or beliefs, even when they are harmful or misguided; displacement, redirecting our emotions from their true source to a less threatening target. While these defense mechanisms can provide temporary relief from emotional discomfort, they ultimately prevent us from facing our fears, acknowledging our mistakes, and growing as individuals. Pride, the ego's close companion, can be equally treacherous. While a healthy sense of pride can be a source of motivation and accomplishment, excessive pride can lead to arrogance, a sense of superiority, and a disregard for the feelings and needs of others. Pride can make us resistant to feedback, unwilling to admit our mistakes, and quick to judge others. It can create a sense of separation, hindering our ability to connect with others on a deeper level and build genuine relationships. Taming the ego is not about eradicating it completely. The ego serves a valuable purpose, providing us with a sense of identity, self-worth, and motivation. But it's about recognizing when the ego is taking the reins, when its defenses are preventing us from living authentically and connecting with others in meaningful ways. One of the most powerful antidotes to an inflated ego is humility. Humility is not about self-deprecation or denying our strengths. It's about recognizing our limitations, acknowledging our interconnectedness with others, and approaching life with a sense of openness and curiosity. Humility allows us to embrace our imperfections, to learn from our mistakes, and to grow from our experiences. It fosters a willingness to listen to others, to consider different perspectives, and to acknowledge that we don't have all the answers. Humility also creates space for vulnerability. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but it's actually a source of strength. It's the courage to show up authentically, to let go of the need for perfection, and to connect with others on a deeper level. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we create opportunities for genuine connection, empathy, and intimacy. We break down the walls that separate us and build bridges of understanding and shared experience. Cultivating humility and vulnerability requires a willingness to challenge our ego's defenses, to question our assumptions, and to embrace the unknown. It's about letting go of the need to be right, the need to be right, the need to be in control, and the need to be seen as perfect. It's about recognizing that we are all works in progress, constantly learning, growing, and evolving. And it's through this process of self-discovery, of embracing our imperfections and acknowledging our interconnectedness, that we truly begin to tame the ego and cultivate a life of greater authenticity, compassion, and connection. Chapter 12: The Gratitude Attitude, a Daily Practice for Well-Being. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of what's missing, the yearning for what we lack. We focus on the bills that need paying, the deadlines that loom, the imperfections we perceive in ourselves and others. But what if, instead of focusing on what's lacking, we shifted our attention to what we already have? This is the essence of gratitude, a simple yet profound practice that can transform our experience of life. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you or acknowledging the good things that happen to us. It's about cultivating an attitude of appreciation, a deep and abiding sense of thankfulness for the gifts that surround us, both big and small. Imagine for a moment that you're walking through a beautiful garden. You could easily focus on the weeds that sprout between the flowers, the imperfections in the petals, the occasional wilted leaf. Or you could choose to focus on the vibrant colors, the intoxicating scents, the delicate beauty of each individual bloom. Gratitude is like choosing to see the beauty in the garden, to appreciate the abundance that surrounds us, even amidst the imperfections. It's about recognizing the good in our lives, savoring the moments of joy, and expressing appreciation for the people, places, and experiences that enrich our existence. The benefits of gratitude are not just anecdotal, they're backed by a growing body of scientific research. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can boost happiness and well-being. Gratitude helps us to focus on the positive aspects of our lives, increasing feelings of contentment, joy, and satisfaction. Reduce stress and anxiety. By shifting our attention away from negativity and worry, gratitude can help us to calm the nervous system and reduce feelings of stress and overwhelm. Improve physical health. Gratitude has been linked to better sleep, lower blood pressure, and stronger immune function. Enhance resilience. Gratitude helps us to appreciate the good in our lives, even in the face of challenges, fostering a sense of hope and optimism that can help us bounce back from adversity. Strengthen relationships. Expressing gratitude to others strengthens our bonds, fosters a sense of connection, and increases feelings of love and appreciation. Cultivating gratitude is not a passive activity. It requires conscious effort and practice. Here are a few simple yet powerful ways to cultivate gratitude in your daily life. Keep a gratitude journal. Take a few minutes each day to write down the things you're grateful for, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. Express gratitude to others. Take the time to tell the people in your life how much you appreciate them, whether it's through a heartfelt conversation, a handwritten note, or a simple act of kindness. Savor positive experiences. When something good happens, take a moment to truly appreciate it, to soak in the joy, and allow yourself to feel the full impact of the experience. Practice mindfulness. By bringing your attention to the present moment, you can cultivate a greater appreciation for the beauty and abundance that surrounds you. Find gratitude in adversity. Even in challenging situations, there is always something to be grateful for. Perhaps it's the support of loved ones, the lessons you're learning, or simply the fact that you're alive and breathing. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a way of life. It's about choosing to see the world through a lens of appreciation, recognizing the good in ourselves, in others, and in the world around us. It's about cultivating an attitude of thankfulness that permeates our thoughts, our words, and our actions. As you cultivate gratitude, you'll find that it becomes a self-perpetuating cycle. The more you appreciate the good in your life, the more good you'll attract. You'll become more attuned to the blessings that surround you, more mindful of the moments of joy, and more appreciative of the people who enrich your existence. Gratitude is a gift, a powerful practice that can transform our experience of life, fostering greater happiness, resilience, and connection. Embrace the gratitude attitude, and you'll unlock a world of abundance, joy, and fulfillment. Chapter 13. Communicating with clarity and compassion. We are born into a world of language, a symphony of sounds and symbols that allow us to share our thoughts, feelings, and experiences with one another. But communication is more than just words. It's a complex dance of verbal and nonverbal cues, a delicate interplay of expression and interpretation that shapes our relationships, influences our perceptions, and ultimately determines the quality of our lives. Think of communication as a bridge between two shores, connecting our inner worlds with the outer world of others. When this bridge is strong and sturdy, built on a foundation of clarity, empathy, and respect, it allows for a free flow of ideas, emotions, and understanding. But when the bridge is weak or unstable, riddled with misinterpretations, assumptions, and unspoken expectations, it can lead to confusion, conflict, and disconnection. Mastering the art of communication is not just about speaking eloquently or writing persuasive prose. It's about cultivating the skills to express ourselves authentically, listen deeply to others, and navigate the inevitable challenges of human interaction with grace and compassion. One of the most essential skills in the communicator's toolkit is active listening. This is not just about hearing the words that are spoken, but about truly paying attention to the message being conveyed, both verbally and non-verbally. Active listening involves being present, putting aside distractions, silencing your inner dialogue, and focusing your full attention on the speaker. Reflecting back, summarizing or paraphrasing what you've heard to ensure you understand the message accurately. Asking clarifying questions, seeking further information or clarification when needed, demonstrating your genuine interest in understanding their perspective. Validating emotions, acknowledging and respecting the speaker's feelings, even if you don't necessarily agree with their point of view. Active listening is like holding up a mirror to the speaker, reflecting their thoughts and feelings back to them with understanding and acceptance. It creates a safe space for open and honest communication, fostering trust, empathy, and connection. But communication is not just about listening, it's also about expressing ourselves clearly and effectively. This involves finding our voice, learning to articulate our thoughts and feelings with confidence and authenticity. Assertive communication is a powerful tool for expressing our needs, setting boundaries, and resolving conflicts constructively. It's about finding the balance between passivity, where we suppress our own needs to avoid conflict, and aggression, where we express our needs in a way that disregards the needs of others. Assertive communication involves expressing your needs and feelings clearly and directly, using I statements to express your perspective without blaming or accusing others. Setting boundaries, communicating your limits clearly and respectfully, letting others know what you are and are not willing to tolerate. Respecting the needs of others, acknowledging that others have their own perspectives and needs, and seeking solutions that work for everyone involved. Assertive communication is not about winning or losing. It's about finding mutually beneficial solutions that honor the needs and perspectives of everyone involved. Another valuable communication tool is nonviolent communication, a powerful framework developed by psychologist Marshall Rosenberg. Nonviolent communication emphasizes empathy, compassion, and honest self-expression, focusing on 4 key components. Observation, describing the situation objectively, without judgment or evaluation. Feelings, expressing your emotions honestly and authentically. Needs, identifying the underlying needs that are connected to your feelings. Requests, making clear and specific requests that would help meet your needs. Nonviolent communication encourages us to speak from the heart, to connect with our own needs and the needs of others, and to find solutions that work for everyone involved. Mastering the art of communication is an ongoing journey, a lifelong practice of refining our skills, deepening our understanding of ourselves and others, and navigating the complexities of human interaction with grace and compassion. It's about learning to listen deeply, to express ourselves authentically, and to create bridges of understanding that foster connection, empathy, and mutual respect. Chapter 14. Cooling the Flames, De-escalation Techniques for Difficult Situations. Conflict is an inevitable part of the human experience. It arises in our homes, our workplaces, our communities, and even within ourselves. It's a clash of perspectives, a collision of needs and desires, a friction that can spark anger, frustration, and resentment. But conflict doesn't have to be destructive. It can also be an opportunity for growth, understanding, and deeper connection. The key lies in our ability to navigate conflict constructively, to de-escalate tense situations, and to find solutions that honor the needs and perspectives of everyone involved. This requires a shift in mindset, a willingness to move from reactivity to responsiveness, from defensiveness to understanding. Imagine for a moment that you're in a heated argument with a loved one. Emotions are running high, voices are raised, and hurtful words are exchanged. In this charged atmosphere, it's easy to get caught up in the heat of the moment, reacting impulsively and escalating the conflict further. But what if, instead of fanning the flames, you consciously choose to cool them? What if you take a deep breath, step back from the intensity of the emotions, and focus on de-escalating the situation? This is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending that everything is okay. It's about recognizing the emotional intensity of the moment and choosing to respond in a way that promotes understanding, resolution, and ultimately, a stronger relationship. One of the most powerful tools for de-escalation is emotional awareness. By recognizing your own emotions, the anger, the frustration, the hurt, you can begin to regulate them, preventing them from dictating your actions. It's also crucial to be aware of the other person's emotions. What are they feeling? What are their needs and concerns? By understanding their perspective, you can begin to empathize with their experience and find common ground. Another key element of de-escalation is communication. In the heat of conflict, it's easy to resort to accusatory language, blaming the other person for the situation. But this only serves to escalate the conflict further, creating defensiveness and resentment. Instead, try using I statements to express your feelings and needs without blaming or attacking the other person. For instance, instead of saying, "You always make me feel," try saying, "I feel when." This subtle shift in language can make a big difference in how your message is received. Nonverbal communication is equally important. Your body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice can either escalate or de-escalate a conflict. Maintain a calm and open posture, make eye contact, and speak in a calm and respectful tone. These nonverbal cues communicate your willingness to listen and find a resolution. It's also important to be mindful of the environment. If the conflict is taking place in a public setting or in front of others, it might be helpful to move to a more private location where you can speak freely and openly. Sometimes de-escalation might involve taking a break from the conversation altogether. If emotions are running too high, it might be helpful to agree to take some time to cool down before continuing the discussion. This allows everyone to process their emotions, gain perspective, and return to the conversation with a clearer head. It's important to remember that de-escalation is not about winning or losing. It's about finding a resolution that works for everyone involved, a solution that honors the needs and perspectives of all parties. This might involve compromise, negotiation, or simply a willingness to listen and understand. It might require setting boundaries, communicating your limits clearly, and respecting the boundaries of others. And finally, it's crucial to recognize that not all conflicts can be resolved immediately. Some conflicts require time, patience, and a willingness to work through difficult emotions and challenging conversations. In these situations, it might be helpful to seek the support of a neutral third party, such as a therapist or mediator, who can help facilitate communication and guide the process towards resolution. De-escalation is a skill, a practice that requires patience, self-awareness, and a commitment to communicating with clarity and compassion. But it's a skill that can transform conflict from a destructive force into an opportunity for growth, understanding, and deeper connection. Chapter 15. Protecting your energy. The power of healthy boundaries. Imagine your life as a beautiful garden. Within this garden, you cultivate your dreams, nurture your relationships, and tend to your well-being. But without clear boundaries, this garden becomes vulnerable to unwanted intrusions. People might trample your flowers, pluck your fruits without asking, or plant seeds of negativity that drain your precious resources. Boundaries are the fences that protect your garden, the clear lines that define your personal space, your values, and your limits. They are not walls meant to shut people out, they are gates that allow you to choose who and what you allow into your life. Think of boundaries as an act of self-care, a way of honoring your needs, respecting your limits, and protecting your energy. They are essential for maintaining emotional, physical, and mental well-being, allowing you to thrive in your relationships and pursue your goals with clarity and confidence. But setting boundaries is not always easy. It can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're used to putting the needs of others before your own. You might worry about disappointing people, causing conflict, or being perceived as selfish. However, healthy boundaries are not about selfishness, they are about self-respect. They are a way of communicating your needs clearly and respectfully, letting others know what you are and are not willing to tolerate. The first step in setting boundaries is to identify your limits. What makes you feel uncomfortable, drained, or resentful? What are your non-negotiables, the values and principles that you hold dear? What are the behaviors that you will no longer accept from others? This process of self-reflection might involve looking back on past experiences, identifying situations where you felt violated or taken advantage of. It might involve paying attention to your body's signals, noticing the subtle cues that indicate discomfort or unease. Once you have a clearer understanding of your limits, it's time to communicate them assertively. This doesn't mean being aggressive or demanding, it's about expressing your needs clearly and respectfully, using I statements to convey your perspective without blaming or accusing others. For instance, if a friend consistently calls you late at night, disrupting your sleep, you might say, "I appreciate that you want to talk, but I need to get to bed early. Could we chat earlier in the evening instead?" Setting boundaries also involves learning to say no when necessary. This can be challenging, especially if you're used to people pleasing or avoiding conflict. But saying no is not about being unkind, it's about honoring your own needs and limits. When you say no to something that doesn't align with your values or priorities, you create space for the things that truly matter to you. You protect your energy, preserve your time, and prioritize your well-being. It's important to remember that boundaries are not static. They can evolve and change as you grow and your needs shift. What might have been acceptable in the past might no longer be tolerable in the present. Be willing to revisit your boundaries periodically, adjusting them as needed to reflect your current needs and priorities. Enforcing your boundaries is just as important as setting them. When someone crosses a boundary, it's crucial to address it calmly and assertively. This might involve reminding them of your limits, reiterating your expectations, or even taking a step back from the relationship if necessary. Enforcing boundaries can be challenging, especially if you're dealing with someone who is used to getting their way or who disregards your needs. But it's essential for maintaining your self-respect and protecting your well-being. Remember, boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about taking control of your own life. They are a way of creating a safe and nurturing space for yourself, a garden where you can flourish, grow, and cultivate the relationships and experiences that truly matter to you. By setting healthy boundaries, you are not only protecting your energy, but also empowering yourself to live a more authentic, fulfilling, and joyful life. Chapter 16. The Art of Patience, Cultivating Calm in a Chaotic World. In today's fast-paced world, patience seems to be a dwindling virtue. We live in an age of instant gratification, where information is readily available at our fingertips, entertainment is streamed on demand, and communication happens in the blink of an eye. This constant bombardment of stimuli can leave us feeling perpetually rushed, always striving for the next thing, the next achievement, the next achievement, the next dopamine hit. But amidst this whirlwind of instantaneity, there's a quiet power in cultivating patience, a virtue that allows us to slow down, appreciate the present moment, and navigate life's challenges with grace and equanimity. Patience is not about passively waiting or tolerating delays. It's an active practice of cultivating inner peace, acceptance, and resilience. It's about recognizing that not everything in life happens on our timetable, that growth takes time, that healing requires patience, and that some of life's greatest rewards come to those who wait. Think of patience as a deep wellspring of inner calm, a reservoir of strength that allows us to weather life's storms without getting swept away by the currents of frustration, impatience, and anger. It's the ability to remain grounded in the present moment, even when faced with delays, setbacks, or unexpected challenges. In a world that constantly bombards us with messages of urgency and instant gratification, cultivating patience can feel like swimming against the current. But the rewards of this practice are immense. Patience allows us to reduce stress and anxiety. When we're patient, we're less likely to get caught up in the frenzy of the moment, allowing us to respond to challenges with greater calm and clarity. Improve decision-making. Patience allows us to take the time to consider our options, weigh the pros and cons, and make choices that align with our values and long-term goals. Strengthen relationships. Patience allows us to be more understanding and compassionate towards others, fostering deeper connections and more harmonious interactions. Enhance creativity. Patience allows us to embrace the natural rhythms of the creative process, allowing ideas to germinate, develop, and blossom in their own time. Cultivate inner peace. Patience allows us to find contentment in the present moment, appreciating the beauty and richness of life as it unfolds. So how can we cultivate this invaluable virtue in a world that seems to be constantly pushing us towards impatience? Here are a few practices to consider. Mindful breathing. When you feel impatience rising, take a few deep breaths, focusing on the sensation of your breath entering and leaving your body. This simple act can help to calm the nervous system and bring you back to the present moment. Reframing challenges. Instead of viewing delays or setbacks as obstacles, try to reframe them as opportunities for growth, learning, or simply a chance to practice patience. Embrace the power of yet. When faced with a challenge that seems insurmountable, remind yourself that you haven't mastered it yet. This simple shift in language can foster a growth mindset and encourage perseverance. Practice delaying gratification. Consciously choose to delay gratification in small ways, such as waiting a few minutes before checking your phone or indulging in a treat. This practice can strengthen your ability to tolerate discomfort and cultivate patience. Connect with nature. Spending time in nature can be a powerful antidote to the frenetic pace of modern life. Observe the slow, steady growth of a tree, the gentle rhythm of the waves, or the patient persistence of a spider spinning its web. Nature reminds us that everything has its own time and rhythm. Patience is not just about waiting. It's about embracing the journey, appreciating the process, and trusting that everything unfolds in its own time. It's about cultivating a deep sense of acceptance, recognizing that we cannot control everything in life, but we can control our response to it. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, patience is a beacon of calm, a source of inner strength that allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace and equanimity.